I didn't ever think I would see Fred Perry walk through the door and remind me of Karl Joseph until I had a conversation with the coach that knows exactly what he's talking about. Now I'm convinced.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host, and this is Locked On West Virginia, baby, where we're talking about the Mountaineers again today, of course, on the football side, as we begin football season officially as of yesterday, which was definitely an interesting day of games, if you say so yourself. I was interested in it, especially watching the Big 12 games, especially definitely some good games yesterday, and things aren't always what you think they are. I definitely had K-State in that game, and I think the mud definitely took the wind out of the sails of a lot of what they were trying to do. This episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by FanDuel, guys. We're talking about FanDuel on this one for multiple reasons, but obviously because football season is around the corner. Visit FanDuel's app today and start planning your future bets now, man. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network where we talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. All right, so I told you guys, well, I said in the title, before the season, I've been messaging guys every single day, different people, just trying to get takes on the current roster and other opinions outside of my own because, I can only judge so much watching tape, and it's not like I have any clue on whether this team's going to win or not. I don't think anybody does. So I just try to get an idea of individual players. And there are both – how do I word this? So there are both coaches that have coached Fred Perry before, and there are coaches that haven't that I've spoken to. And two separate conversations I've had now at this point, which span like a few months apart, but still – I thought it rang kind of true. Started talking about how some of the things he do are very Karl Joseph-esque. And I got to thinking, like, when Karl Joseph was the leader back there, we didn't always have the best defense, but we had a tone-setting defense, and he was a tone setter. Some of the most nasty hits in the history of our school came on the other side of Karl Joseph and his helmet. And I think about the Texas game. I think about all those hits that Karl Joseph just absolutely laid people out in, and he's still in the league, right? You've seen him bounce around the league from Cleveland to Pittsburgh, a bunch of different places, and he's had a good career. And he did that undersized, right? He wasn't always the biggest player, and I think Fred Perry could be an upgraded version of that. I really, truly do. When you watch this dude on tape, man, he absolutely lays the wood to guys to the point to where it gets a little bit worrisome as far as penalties and stuff go. He's a Georgia guy, which makes sense. It's one of the reasons why he's probably so tough. He's got 1 year remaining, so this is it. And we know he followed Coach Rod to West Virginia because of that relationship, and he's a versatile safety. He's a fan. I think he's going to be a fan favorite. I really do. If you look over the course, he's got 36 games under his belt, a lot of football, 257 tackles, 18 tackles for loss, 10 passes defended, 6 forced fumbles, 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. Just last year alone, 110 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. And he's been good since he stepped foot on the field for Jack State as a freshman All-American in 2022. Where he had 72 tackles and a pick. First of all, how did he not go in the portal right away after that? Second of all, the loyalty. Third of all, this kid, this grown man, is an absolute stud when it comes to when you watch him on tape. He does everything well. He will be the starter at nickel safety. I'll be absolutely shocked if he's not the starter at nickel safety. And I thought, you know what? We haven't given him a ton of shine on this channel because he's a given. I feel like that's the biggest reason I haven't done it is because Fred Perry, in my opinion, has been one of the few givens at a spot all off season. I haven't worried about it. I've known that he's going to be one of those starters. And this very first hit that you see, the very first thing that you see on his tape here is it's similar to Karl Joseph. He killed a man in whatever state this is in, right? So for those listening on audio, I'll try to explain this as best as I can. But let's watch Fred Perry do what he does best, and that's lay it with the people.
Perry forces a fumble.
Fred Perry.
Fred Perry.
Perry.
Fred Perry.
Fred Perry lights him up.
I wish we could listen to the music so much. Here it comes, though. Perfect timing. Number 6 in your house against, it looks like maybe Florida A&M. Let's see it again. Here it comes. Ready? Boom! Oh, God. I mean, look at the arm extension on this. Boom! Boom! Look at the head fly back. What a hit. Boom! Absolutely crushing blow. There's a couple of these on here we can watch. I think this one here we can watch. No, we can't. That's ESPN Plus. I always forget about his tape being all ESPN stuff for the most part, but not all of them. I think we're good. Let's see. Yeah, here's one you see him come off the edge. Boom. And this is what I can't wait to see him do at West Virginia, guys. Lining up in that nickel spot. Can you imagine Jamori Robinson over on this side, Devin Grant or Marshon Oxley, or maybe let's say Jamori Robinson's even got his hand in the dirt, and then you've got Marshon Oxley outside even, and then you've got Chase Wilson right here, and you've got Fred Perry outside here. Can you imagine trying to block all that? We haven't had a pass rush this formidable in so long in Morgantown, and I predict it's going to be successful. And you can see Perry is in a terrific off the edge. Terrific off the edge. And a zone setter at that. You see, let's see. Trying to see what all plays we can actually watch. Looks like almost all of them are on ESPN Plus. I didn't realize Jack State was on this many. So I didn't realize. So it's unfortunate. I didn't realize Jack State was on this many different channels. As far as and it's easier to be a small town fan nowadays because of this kind of stuff, right? It didn't used to be this way. We got another one. Oh, this is his. Was this his JUCO or something? Maybe, or high school tape. It's hard to say. But you get another example of what he can do. Looks like he played some offense in school. Quarterback. Let me find out. Fred Perry was a quarterback, or running. He was running back, wasn't he? That makes sense. Look how hard-nosed of a runner he is, too, man. This is crazy. It's hard to believe that a guy like Fred Perry gets overlooked. Just from watching him at running back, I would have gave him a D1 shot. I really would have. He's obviously not a terrible athlete. Now, I'm not saying at running back necessarily, but he's a guy, man, that you look at and it's just so here he is right here, right where he's going to line up for West Virginia. He knows how to cause them fumbles, man, which is what he did there. I wish we could have watched more of his highlight tape, but that's okay. I don't want to get in any kind of issues going on. But, I mean, he look great in that gold and blue right there with the helmet on. I mean, and hey, look what we got right here. Little Karl Joseph action on the comment right here. Boom. That's pretty cool. That's almost like that's almost like what's kind of almost too much of a coincidence, right? So, and you can see here, He's won weight room warrior of the week here since he's been here. So like he's been doing his thing as far as I think with the coaches. So I'm excited, y'all. I think he's going to make a big impact for West Virginia, no doubt. Especially at that nickel spot, like I said. I just think he's perfect for it. It's what he does, man.
He was rolled up as a short.
I'm not sure.
There by Derek.
Let's see what this one is.
But a tremendous job over there by Derek Carter.
Oh, yeah, this is the Derek Carter tape, I believe. Yeah, this is the Derek Carter tape. Forgot. Derek Carter tape. All right, so, yeah, man, this is going to be fun. He's not the only guy, though, we're talking about on this one. I want to show this play as well if we can. No, we can't. It's ESPN Plus. Oh, well, we've shown enough. You guys get the idea of what Fred Perry's all about, right? He's such an absolute monster. And, yes, people will be absolutely abused when it comes to Fred Perry this year. So let's go to break really quick. We've got 4 more players to talk about. So what I decided to do was some people asked me about some guys that we haven't talked about much. So we're going to talk about Taikes Crawford, a guy that I think, very well could be the best offensive lineman on the team this year. And the reason we haven't talked about him, I think, is there's a lack of tape out there on him. That's one of the reasons. And another reason was something that I'm going to talk about publicly for the first time that I was told by a coach of his. We do that next. Stick around. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by FanDuel, guys. We're talking about FanDuel on this one. Well, no, we're talking about Rougiette on this one because if you want to be Rougiette ready, then you probably already know where we're going here. If you probably heard about Viagra or Cialis, heck, maybe you've even tried them. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougiette Ready. Rougiette Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, Rougiette's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast, on average in 15 minutes, but the effects can last up to 36 hours, so you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. And if traditional options haven't worked, Rougiette might be your answer. After all, 150,000 men have made the switch. Head to Rougiette.com/LockedOnCollege and use LockedOnCollege to get 15% off today. That's Rougiette.com/LockedOnCollege and use promo code, you guessed it, LockedOnCollege for 15% off. Individual results may vary with prescription treatments. Compound drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Please visit the Rougiette website for full safety information. It's segment 2. Let's crack open this y'all, and jump straight into another topic regarding the Mountaineers. Do you love the Mountaineers? My buddy Zach Vlork, who is sometimes in the comment section, he used to walk around singing that all the time. Do you love the Mountaineers? Do you have love for the Mountaineers? All right. So we're off Fred Perry and we're on to Taikes Crawford, a mammoth, insane, enormous, huge, whatever adjective you want to go with. You can do it. He is that guy, and for good reason at that. He is a monster in the game, and somebody that is not just might be, is a scary guy to have to even try to think about going up against one-on-one, as he is 6'5", 324 pounds of solid muscle. He really is. He's a former 4-star recruit who started games at Arkansas and is somebody that when you look at him on the field, he stands out above even big guys. And I think he's a guy did I go to the wrong page here? Is that what I'm doing? Let's see. Let's take that off there. I think I'm spelling it right. Sometimes this first name can be tricky to spell. Um, but yeah, so let's see, maybe I've got it on another. Sorry, I'm on the wrong one. That's why. Let me just exit off of this one then. We'll go to another one. All right. So Taikes Crawford, I had two pulled up for whatever reason. I think I thought I had one on um that had like a highlight or something. But anyways, this is him here, obviously. Let me get to my breakdown on him really quick. So Taikes Crawford is from Texas. He played at Arkansas from 2020 to 23, and at Charlotte last year. He has 1 year of eligibility remaining. Initially did commit to UCLA, but flipped to West Virginia after an official visit to Morgantown, if you'll remember, was a consistent 4-star recruit in the 2020 class, and he brings significant Power 4 experience to West Virginia's O-line. He's played in 39 games and started 9 games at Arkansas over at right tackle. So it's going to be very interesting to see what he does there. I think he's got a ton of talent, guys. Like we said, 6'5", 325. He's a physical, monster-sized dude. He's been exposed to a ton of good players at Arkansas. He knows what it looks like, and he's primarily been a right tackle, but he does have the potential to slide inside or play multiple positions if needed. He brings some untapped potential. I think he is a guy that has some upside to him, even though he's a little, later in his career. He's got a lot of upside, and I'll just explain it to you like this. Sometimes guys, for whatever reason, aren't fits places, and their career can go south as a result of that. One thing the portal allows you to do is it allows you to hopefully find a place that fits your skill set well. He played well in an offense very similar to what we play. When they went to Charlotte, I spoke to his former offensive line coach, and the word that I was given was, for whatever reason, he had trouble with their offense. And I don't know exactly why. I didn't dig, but I think this is something I noticed about myself was I think I maybe wrote him off a little bit, not as a starter. I knew he was always going to be in contention to start, but I was worried that maybe this this new playbook and everything would be too much for him to do all at once. And that's not fair for me to assume, right? Very obviously, he has done a great job consuming and learning it. And who knows what the circumstances were at Charlotte and the reason. But and maybe that offensive line coach didn't get along with him. I don't know. But that guy and I spoke right after he committed. And that's one of the things he told me. He said, listen, he had trouble with the playbook. I don't know why. At Arkansas. So we'll, that was something that worried me when he came in, but I don't think it's even been a problem at West Virginia. And if you want to look at, there is one play with him on record that I've found that we can watch, and it's him over at right tackle. And you get a glimpse of exactly why he's a very exciting prospect at 6'5", 330, 325. Watch him move and just absolutely dominate and abuse this cat from North. I don't know, is that Northwestern or who that is? Who plays purple? It could be a FCS team. I don't know. And there he takes him all the way out of the play. Once more, he's playing. There he is right there. I had him. I don't know what position he was playing there. Okay, so he was playing. Let's see. Okay, so he's playing guard here. Sorry, guys. I wasn't sure. He's right here. Boom. And you see him take a dude straight up out of the play. Pretty impressive stuff, right? I mean, you can see there, like, real strong, real big, physical. It's what you like. I think he's got a lot of that for the West Virginia offensive line. And I mean, when you see pictures of him just in regular street clothes, you're like, holy cow, man, this dude is a mammoth of a man. So, as you can see, like, this is one of those dudes that if he gets it, look out. He's getting a chance to be really good. And we're hoping that he is. That's, we need him to be. There's no doubt. Here he is at Charlotte, it looks like, so I'm not sure which one was him here. Oh, okay, I see it. I see it. Yeah. It's kind of hard to see that one though. There he is in high school, it looks like. So Crawford's a guy, right? And somebody we haven't talked about a lot. But it looks like he's going to get his playing time on that right side. And him and Xavier Bosley will probably rotate. If you ask me, that's my guess. Now I don't have that. Nobody's giving me that knowledge. I'm just taking my best guess on this. But I think him and Xavier are probably going to rotate. The fact that it kind of upsets me in a little bit of a way. I want whoever the best player is to play. I want to make that very clear. But it does upset me that possibly Xavier Bosley may not start for 2 years in a row and getting beaten out by a senior guy, fifth-year senior. Last year it was Nick Malone, who he barely lost to, I'm told. Barely. It was a really close race. And then I think this year he had an injury in camp early, and I think it kind of put him behind. And maybe he's still catching up. I don't know, but I really thought Xavier Bosley would be one of the 5 best. And maybe he walks out there Saturday and he is. I would love to see that. But from everything we've seen in scrimmages, like the 5 they've been rolling with is obviously Taikes Crawford, Kimo Makaniole, Landon Livingston, Walter Youngbear, and we know his name, don't we? Sometimes the brain farts happen, but goodness gracious, man. You think I'd be able to remember his name? Hold on, I'll pull it up really quick. It's good Lord. Why did I have such a brain fart like that all of a sudden? Oh gosh. There's so many players to remember all at once. It's one thing to remember 5 or 6 new guys on one side of the ball. It's like a whole nother thing to have to remember all at once, every position. It gets to be wild, man. But yeah, so that's Nick Cray. I don't know why I couldn't remember that name for the life of me. But anyways, Nick Cray on the left side. So yeah, there's and there are going to be guys in that race, I do believe, but Carson Lee we talked about. I think he'll be right there as one of the next, 6th or 7th guy. He's got a lot of upside as well. I really like, Carson Lee and what he's done in his career. So, best of luck to everybody, though. I mean, I'm definitely not rooting against anybody, and I think Xavier Bosley's in that top 7 group as well. At least I would expect him to be. And but yeah, Crawford's a guy, man. We'll see what he does here this year at West Virginia. Definitely a chance to be really good. Definitely a chance to be really good. He's got the size, the skill, the pedigree. We just need him to put it together. And if he turns into what he's capable of turning into, it could be a big season for us on the ground for sure, and in the air. All right, let's go to break. We'll come back. We've got a couple more guys we're going to have to speed run through, but excited about them as well. We'll be right back with 3 more West Virginia players to talk about. This is Locked On West Virginia. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by FanDuel this time, guys. And we're talking about FanDuel for many reasons, but not just because it's FanDuel and they're the channel sponsors, because it's FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on deals on deals on the NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling for your MVP or eyeing a long shot division winner or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. That's right. It's your moment. Visit the FanDuel app today or start planning your future bets now, because future FanDuel's Future Day is 1 day and 1 day only, and you can only do it at FanDuel, so play your game. And we are back here, Locked On West Virginia in segment 3. Appreciate you guys for being here. Sorry about that, Josh. I was a little bit late getting to the stream. Just so you guys know, 95% of the time, uh, I absolutely will be a little bit late. So that's just a thing. Oh boy. Deb K suggestion: make yourself more presentable and get yourself together before you go on tape or live. What? What? Listen, I don't. I'm choosing to be here on a Sunday. I don't have to be. Like I record 7 days a week, multiple times a day because I want to, and I wear whatever I want. So like I mean, you can suggest what you want to, but not exactly sure what you mean. Get your computer together. It's together. At least it's not in pieces that I know about. So if you're going to have a suggestion, maybe be a little bit more specific. I mean, I don't know because I have no clue what you mean by get yourself together. Like I'm wearing clean clothes, wearing a brand new hat. So I have no clue what you mean, hun. But you're definitely entitled to that opinion, I suppose. All right, let's jump on into another topic here. I do want to get to another thing too as well if we can, but I don't want to run over too much. All right, so you know, who do I want to talk about next, man? There's a couple guys, and it's like I don't want to run out of time on any of them. I guess we'll go with. Uh, I think the most important one to go with would probably be Oxley, even though we've talked about him before, and I know we have, and I know some of you guys may not agree with me talking about him right now. Marshon Oxley is a guy that, Marshon Oxley is a guy that, I've talked about many times on the show now at this point. Whenever I was given the chance to bring him up as a guy that to watch for on that roundtable show we did the other day with the Beard, Oxley was one of the first names out of my mouth. He may have been the first name out of my mouth. I think he's an elite pass rusher. I can't speak to him as a run stopping defender as much, but if you're talking about ball get off and a guy that can just get after the quarterback, I really mean this. I think he's got a chance to be really, really good for West Virginia. And I just think for multiple reasons, when you look at what he's been able to do in his career, and I can read the stats too, because he's definitely had some big games in his career at the JUCO level, multiple sack games, different things like that. But I think the best way to do this is just to watch the tape. He's got a highlight tape from Colorado State we can watch, but it's irrelevant. We'll just watch the one here at JUCO because I think you get the best sense for what he was able to do there. So let's get to it. As you can see, he's a quick guy, right? I mean, right off the rip, you see it. Here he is, number 23, right on the edge where he'll be lining up for West Virginia in this bandit spot. Think about this. You could have him here and Jamori Robinson here and Fred Perry coming off of here. Like it's really exciting when you think about it. And even when you get to the backups, you can have Devin Grant over here. You can have maybe you have Jamori out here this time. Like there's so many. The amount of if we get Jamori, especially the amount of packages the Zach Alley is going to be able to blitz with from a blitzing perspective is insane. It's literally insane. So let's jump to it as we see the first thing you see out of Oxley. Watch this quick move to the outside he gives. It's right here. He sets him up and then boom, he just goes right underneath. Just so quick. So quick. And here he is on the outside again, and he just didn't even get blocked. Once more, here he is. As you can see, to the outside, he's quick, although he did kind of get caught on that one a bit. But that first step is so great. And then look at the speed to catch up with the quarterback. I mean, it's a little bit next level, right? You look at it. I mean, look at that speed catching up right here. I mean, he is quick, man. explosive. Here you get a good shot of him from the rear side here, going against the right tackle. And just, oh man, he just great move on the stunt. And a lot of these are during practice, it looks like. So they're not going full speed, which kind of sucks. We will watch some of the game highlights as well. They matter for sure. But as you can see here, man, he just abuses the offensive line during practice. It's not even a question. And I think that's a great example of his ball get off on this play. Watch how quickly the ball, he just times the snap really well here. As you can see, it's him and this guy are both moving before anybody else is taking a step. So, like, this guy was prepared, but it's them two are moving first. And then it's this kind of a bull rush where he forces him back to the outside. All right, back to the outside again, and just another great dip underneath. It looks like this is the same play again. So what we'll probably do is we'll watch some of his actual plays now. When he was there at, this is a great little pass rushing move here. Love that. Love the active hands from him. And just in there, you know. So here he is right here. Sorry, no, it's not him. It's the other guy. They twisted around and confused the heck out of me. Looks like that might be him out here. It's hard to tell by the number. Yeah, that's him right there. It was difficult to tell, guys. Sorry about that. But this is much brighter. And you can see just amazing pass rush there. I mean, you see the bull rush, you see the rip move through. Bull rush and then rip. That's an excellent job, man. I mean, and these are the kind of pass rushes that I think he'll be giving us in Morgantown for sure, right? The bull rush, you see he's into the guy. He's got him leveraged under. Once you get him off balance, then you just shed the block, rip underneath, and beat the guy. That's all it takes. And a forced fumble at that. So just a terrific move from Marshon Oxley on this play. You go up here to this one, and yeah, that's him. I guess he must have changed his number for this one. But look at him here, number 11. Look at this insane speed that he has to get to the outside here. And he jumps the snap a little bit on some of these, it looks like. Let's play it in slower motion. See, he definitely he's definitely playing with fire there. I think he's on sides. It's close, but either way, it makes him look like a god in the pass rushing, doesn't it? I mean, look, if you can do that, because that's a skill. Learning the snap is a skill no matter who you play, whether it's silent count, whether it's clapping, whether it's the actual cadence, however you want to talk about it. You got to learn it.
It's a snap with 3. Looking to his left.
And that's what you like to see is he's got his hand in the dirt right here as a defensive end, right? So watch him come off the ball here and just absolutely obliterate and abuse this right tackle.
It's a snap with 3. Looking to his left. Pressure coming. Marshon Oxley blows it up. It is a sack, and McHugh's helmet comes off as well. 7th sack on the season. It's a snap.
So that was his 7th sack on the season right here. Let's watch it one more time. This is absolute abuse. And look at him. And let's play it in slow-mo again. Watch, talking about him. And if I'm scouting West Virginia and he's a starter, I'm a lot of hard counts, right? Because watch him here. There he is again. He's taken off before the snap again. And he's so good at it, though. If you watch it in real time, it's like it's really close. It's really close. Pretty interesting stuff, actually, when you pay attention to it. Curious how some of you guys feel about that. Oh, this one's grainy, but I think that's him there. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong side of the ball. Okay, well, here he is here, hand in the dirt. Another beautiful dip. Oh, such a gorgeous move, man. Watch him dip right underneath this dude's left arm here. So we can play it slower. Yeah, so obviously they're about to engage, right? The tackle gets his arms out, and he just dips right up underneath it and says, nope. Great move. Great move. Let's watch this one, last one, I believe. Yep. More explosion from Oxley, right?
21-3 since the beginning of the second half.
Oh, yeah, this is the I think I told somebody earlier, I said, this is probably the reason Rich Rod came and got Oxley. Look at this play. He's out of the play. The screen goes right behind him, and then watch him run about 70 yards to catch up to the guy.
There's a little screen. That's what you do when you're having trouble, right?
Well, maybe not 70, more like 30. But, I mean, that's important. You got to have that motor. I think, especially at defensive end or pass, any kind of pass rushing move, you have to have that motor going on. And he's not the biggest guy in the world, right? He's like, probably 230, 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", 230. And certainly has a ton of talent, no doubt. But, he's still got to have that motor going on. So Marshon Oxley, as I've said all offseason, I think is going to be a huge piece to our pass rush that a lot of people don't really realize. Our defense, I'll say it again. I do personally believe that our defense will be a top 3 or 4 defense in the Big 12. Statistically speaking, do I think it'll be good enough to win us a Big 12 championship in year 1 or anything like that? I don't know. I think we have the talent to win 8 or 9 games, but I don't think we have enough, cohesion yet. The cohesion part takes a year in a lot of cases. That's the part that worries me the most. Is I'm just not sure that West Virginia is going to have the cohesion with as many players as they have. They did it last year with about 10 or 15 less players, but that's still 10 or 15 more players you've got to get acclimated. And they, Jack State hit on the running back and the quarterback last positions. So, you can say it was scouting or whatever. And they also had Cam Bond come into his own as a redshirt freshman. So they had some things go their way, right? That I think that are important and matter as far as like having that successful season they had. They had their quarterback that came on. Then they had the running back and L.J. Turner out of Limestone that came on, and just a lot going on with it there. The last player is Justin Smith-Brown, guys. I think he deserves, because we talked about the receiver room a lot, and it's my fault probably, but we haven't brought his ability up a ton on the show a couple of different times. He's another one that I really love. He's in the 4-4 club. He runs that 4-4 40. I do think that he's going to have a ton of opportunity to be good at West Virginia as far as from a snaps perspective. So Justin Smith-Brown, and he's 6 feet tall. He's incredibly fast when you look at him from a speed perspective. And he's a guy right here. He is right here running 4.25, he says.
What you ran?
What did they say the first time?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Chicken.
I don't believe that, that's probably hand time. So it's probably what we heard it was, which was, if I can show you guys, let's see, let's pull it up. Justin Smith-Brown ran a 4.4 flat, which is incredibly fast. That's perfect. We'll take it. Yes, sign me up. You don't need it to be much faster, right?
Phoenix.
So here is the first play you see from Justin Smith-Brown is he's beat somebody deep. And here we go. Let's look at Justin Smith-Brown as he absolutely abuses somebody.
Phoenix again, back over the middle, caught and in. Justin Smith-Brown puts the Bulldogs up.
And I'll say it every time I watch this highlight, the quarterback here, man, number 7. But look, and I think if you've watched this show very much, I've talked about this play at least 3 times now on the show. When you watch Justin Smith-Brown on this play, you see that 4.4 speed. It's not even a question if you see it or not. Like, it's on full display. And it's one of the reasons I believe he is going to be absolutely have a chance, as much as anybody else on the team, to be a big play guy that could if he, he's one of the, who's going to do it of all the guys that we have that run fast, because we got three guys that run 4.4 or better, and 3 or 4 more that run 4.5 or better. So, who's it going to be? Who's going to actually show up and show out? Is it going to be him? I don't know, but look at this play here, y'all. This quarterback launches this thing down the field, and here he comes into your screen right here. Here he is. Watch him from here and watch him track and catch up to this football. He's got to get to that. I would anticipate he's running at that 4.4 level, if not faster, to catch this thing here. I mean, he's cutting it loose to get there, man. Incredible. This one here, I love watching this play because he is getting it to get down there, man. I love it. And it's almost like he's, no wasted motion in how he runs. Like, he's just got a really pretty running style when he sprints. So, yeah, he's going to be interesting, and we've heard the receivers coach say it. Hey, look, he's one to watch as well. That's why I keep telling people our receiving room, man, we got a bunch of dudes in that room. At least 10 receivers in that room that have produced. I don't know if 10 will be good this year. I'd be shocked if 10 were, but I do think that it's a deep room. I think they've got a bunch, they've got guys that can play in the room now. So it's going to be fun to keep track of. And Brown is, he's right there on that level, on that 5'11", 6 foot kind of thing, so, he's not small. He's not huge. He can probably be, as you can see here, he's a muscular guy. He's got long arms. So he presents as a big target. So yeah, there's a ton of ability here with this guy, man. And I can't wait to see what he does in Morgantown to follow up what he's already done in an already great career at South Carolina State. So, here you see him. He's only returning a kick, I'm assuming. I don't know. I honestly haven't watched this play before. But he was number 6 on the other ones, but maybe he's 85 right here. I don't know. I think that must be him returning that kick. Interesting. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all for being here and joining in and all the whole thing. It's been fun for sure. Let's see what his vertical is here. Whoa. No way. Is this edited? A 42-inch vertical? No freaking way. What a freak athlete. This is what I'm saying, man. People keep on, nobody knows about our receiver room, and I'm sitting here been pounding this desk for months saying, we've got 8 or 10 guys in this room that I think are really good. You just watched this guy jump 42 inches. That's shocking. You just don't see that every day. That is elite athleticism. You can't do better. 42-inch vertical? Oh, my God. And this is a receiver we have. This is Justin Smith Brown. Incredible display of talent. I've never seen that before. I just happened to see it as we were scrolling down his thing here. You know, this is a guy, dude, like I keep telling people, and we've heard him mention him specifically in practice, right? And when we look at the roster, for those of you listening on audio, we just saw a little quick video where they measure Justin Smith Brown jumping 42 inches in a vertical. And it's absolutely apparent when you watch it. It's not one of those things where you're like, well, it doesn't look like he really jumped that. No, it looks like he jumped 50 inches. Oron Singleton Jr., who we know had a 75 catches for almost 1,000 yards last year at Eastern Michigan, right? Cam Vaughn, similar situation, only on 50 catches. Jaden Bray, who we're expecting to be possibly even the number one receiver this year. Gerard Bowie, who they're expecting to take a step from Jack State. Gerald Williams has been at West Virginia forever. We just saw Justin Smith Brown. Christian Hamilton is at North Carolina. Logan Ramper is another one that we can talk about that runs 4.4 at 6'2". Rodney Gallagher, they're expecting a huge jump from. Armoni Weaver is the best freshman that we've had in practice all offseason. Preston Fox came back out of retirement. Cyrus Traw is one of the best route runners on the team. And we didn't even get to Jeff Weimer, guys, who anybody will tell you is one of the best route runners that I've seen in a long, long time. So somebody explain to me how our receiver room isn't loaded, because it is. And I'll die on that hill until proven otherwise. Maybe they don't work out and maybe I'm wrong, but I keep seeing things that blow me away with it. Let me know how you feel, guys. Appreciate y'all for joining in on this one. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen, and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We talk about your team every single day, which is the Mountaineers. Subscribe, like, and the whole nine, and we'll be back later or tomorrow. One quick thing I do want to mention. I've seen something posted earlier. ESPN posted a thing where they interviewed 20 general managers and agents, and so they could define the price ranges for each spot based on deals completed in 2025. It's a really interesting deal. It's going to be my next video, what it's on. We're going to try to figure out how much each person on West Virginia's team made. I think we can do it using this formula. So with that said, guys, I appreciate y'all. We'll be back here in a couple hours, and I'm out of here.